Well, this week's Bushel Up, I just want to continue on the topic of planting conditions, where we're at. Obviously, the forecast isn't doing us a lot of favors. The cold snap over the weekend. This week's a little bit choppy with highs anywhere from 50 to 70, kind of bouncing back and forth. And then we look to next week, it looks like maybe we'll moderate out a little bit. So I know some of you guys are needing to go. I totally understand. You got to look at your acres, you got to look at the calendar. Even though conditions are less than ideal, I want to talk about a couple things that we can be doing. So if you don't have Hustle seed treatment on, or a PGR, good seed treatment package, make sure we're doing that. We're planting into cool conditions. They are cool and dry, but some of this seed's going to spend 14 days in the ground. The stuff that's already in the ground has done that. We're just finally getting emergence on corn and soybeans that have been in the ground for 14 plus days. So make sure you have a good seed treatment package. If you don't have that, we can always throw a PGR, realize in furrow, do some things with fertility. Maybe that fungicide is a good idea. We use Evito on all our owners' acres to make sure we're protecting that seedling disease. Give a little extra protection there as that plant struggles to get out of the ground. Biggest concern I have is soil moisture again. Disc ground here, you'll see we've got some moisture, roughly at that 2 inches deep, but that top 1.5 to 2 inches is very dry. If you're planting corn, I suggest pre-watering if you have worked ground. Get that soil moisture built up before we plant into it. We don't throw that cold water on top of germinating seed. Soybeans, make sure if you put them in the ground, we got to watch. I haven't seen a lot of crusting, but that's obviously a concern if we water after we plant. That we get some heat or some wind and then we crust on top. So I do like the pre-watering if you can do that. We've talked about that in the last couple weeks. One other thing I want to caution everybody about, because I've seen this mistake made before, is we're planting a lot of acres right in this window. Understand we're not accumulating a lot of GDUs, so when it takes us 4 or 5 days to accumulate 20 GDUs, understand that's only one day, typical day in June or July. So when it comes to spraying, if you plant all your acres and really go hard this week and we're not accumulating those GDUs, it's basically the same as planting it all on the same day. And so you're going to run into issues down the line. That's why we're staggering our plantings here at Owners Acres. We went hard a couple weeks ago on some of our marginal fields, put in a few more dryland acres last week, and then we're waiting for a better window. But part of that's just to spread out spraying some of the workload later on. As we try to get across these fields maybe an extra time with some foliar feed down the road, we want to make sure we have that window where we can hit in that 300 to 400, 500 GDU range and get our herbicides applied, get some of those yield boost products out there that can help us as we're setting those rows around. So just think ahead a little bit. I know some of you are rolling and you're not excited about it. I understand. That's okay. We're putting in some RFR plots today. We've got to get the work done. The calendar does catch up to us eventually, but it's not where we need to be rolling day and night. Take that slow, enjoy, smell the roses, have an extra cup of coffee as we plant along here.